Hey guys and girls, how's it going, and welcome back to another episode of Thaumcraft with myself, Lewis. It'll be brilliant. Having yourself a great day as always. This is going to be the final episode, guys. This is the end of our magical journey. We've got some things we need to do today, but yeah, this is going to be it. I think I have researched all the knowledge I need to know. Now, let me show you something a little bit cool before we get on with today's task. Check this out. Oh, doesn't that look cool? Oh, I love it. That looks amazing. Wearing myself a bit of void thaumaturge's robes. Check these guys out. I haven't enchanted them because I just wanted to show you what they look like without any of the kind of sparkly stuff on them. Don't they look cool? I've even dyed them a little bit with some dark grey. Yeah. It's nice. You can even put a bit of pink on there if you want. But these guys are the bomb. Check them out. Now, it looks like we had not accumulated enough warp in our previous episode. Sure, we'd made it to the Eldritch tab, but we hadn't made it all the way into the Eldritch tab. No, we needed to accumulate more warp. We need to go even madder than we already was. So I made more of my flesh golems, as I mass produced more flesh golems, and I managed to open up this separate area here. Yes, we got the void thaumaturge robes, which are pretty funky stuff. A truly enlightened thaumaturge realizes that he needs not choose between utility and defense. By augmenting existing void armor with the proper enchantments and combining them with thaumaturge's robes, he will be able to create a set of armored robes that not only offers physical protection and mental focus, but mystical protection as well. The robes will also retain all the properties of void armor, while hood will offer all the benefits of the goggles used in its crafting. This armor can be dyed, and there we go. Those are the different types there. How funky is that? So I got some of this stuff. It's pretty good. It's got a decent armor value to it. You can see down there. It's not as good as diamond, but it's pretty good. And I am very much happy with that. Oh yeah, that looks really funky. I also made a couple of other things. I'm going to show you that before we crack on today. I love how one of you noticed my little golem up here. He's actually been up here for like 4 episodes. Because I just left him up here. He comes from down there, and I don't need any more of the primal aspects from those, so I've just left him up here. He's just kind of my mascot now. He stands up here. He protects this one mana bean, and he protects it with his life. That is the greatness of that little guy. So let me show you the other stuff that I've been up to. So I made myself a particular type of scepter, because we need a strong scepter for today's episode. I've made this guy a void aspected silverwood scepter. So it's like what we already had, except it has void caps on it. And the reason we've got the void caps is because we have a 59% average visit cost. Whereas compared to the other one that had the Thaumium caps, I believe it was something like 67 or somewhere around about there. So we needed that additional viz discount to be able to do what we're going to do today. And you're also going to need yourself a good lot of thaumaturge's robes, or these void thaumaturge's robes, because we're going to need the viz discount. You can see these all have 5% and 5% on them. They're actually really good. If we have a look in here, I think the regular ones have the same amount, so I don't think you have to make these, but Viz Thaumaturge's robes 2%. Oh no, you will need to make these. So you will need the void Thaumaturge's bits to make this. So you need those. You need all of that. But you will have to use the Thaumaturge's boots for the additional 1% that gets added on there, plus the discount from the void aspected silverwood scepter. So we're going to make ourselves today the not actually the most powerful wand, weirdly enough, because we can't yet, but we are going to make the best that we can currently make. Yes, and that is going to be using all of this stuff. Check all this out. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get ourselves some aspects. We're also going to need to put some bits and bobs on here. So the first thing we're going to need is a silverwood rod. Let's put this on here. There we go. And we're going to need all of these. So I'm going to put one there. I'm going to pop one there, pop one there, pop one there. How many we got left? We've got 2 left. So I'll put one there and one there. And this should now give us the recipe for quite a funky thing. I think that's right. Is that the silverwood rod? I think so. Let's have a look. We're making a staff core of the Primal. So we need those guys. I was wondering why it wasn't coming up. We need our primal charms. I forgot I made those. So we need you there, and you there, and yeah, check that out. We got all the bits and bobs there. Good stuff. So let's go ahead and get all the stuff that we need to be able to do this. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. There we go. There we go. Calm yourself. Good stuff. So we need one of those. And we do need a fair bit of the old Essentia to do this. If we have a look inside here, you can see that we need a decent amount of air and aqua and ignis and ordo, peditio, terra, and procantio. Yes. So I'm going to get all these lined up, and we'll be back to do the craftage. Here we go. Just waiting on this last one to do its thing. And, oh man, I got mining fatigue. I'm going to have to pick this up in a second. That's going to be a pain. Let's quickly grab the last one. There we go. And this should give me all of the procantio that we require. Oh my jeez. Look at that. Alright, let's place this over here. There we go. And this is a pretty nasty one. You can see that it's very high for this, but I think we're going to be able to pull this off. Hopefully. I got a fair few candles around. And they should all be symmetrical and looking good. So, here we go. Oof. Oh, I don't like the look of this one. I'm going to stand over here for this. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's gonna go okay. Yes. Now, let me explain a couple of things with Thaumcraft. So, currently, the Eldritch side of things isn't actually complete, you know. So, we've made our way into the Eldritch tab, and it's quite a recent thing the Eldritch tab has been added. And it's kind of like a groundwork at the minute. They've laid the cement for a new section of Thaumcraft, but the building hasn't been put up yet, and that's pretty much how it is. So this one that we're going to make may not seem like the best one we can make, but we can't actually make the best one at the minute without the help of any type of additional add-ons. And as we're playing vanilla Thaumcraft only at the minute, we won't be doing any add-on stuff. This is the best that we can make, but obviously there's going to be stuff that's going to be added later that will allow us to make this better one. There's more structures coming in, there's apparently a boss coming in, there's a lot of stuff that's getting added in that's going to be all to do with the Crimson Cult and all that sort of stuff. And don't worry, before we finish up today's episode, I would like to show you the Crimson Cult, because I think that could be a pretty cool one. Oh, did I forget to put auto down? Did I forget? Oh my god, I forgot to put auto down. That's not good. Let's quickly get some auto. There you go. There you go, it's there. Have a drink. Enjoy it. Oh, that's close. Oh my god. Yes, so I will go and show you the Crimson Cult later on. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to show you any of the Guardians yet. The Eldritch Guardians, because we haven't had any spawnies. So I don't think I've been able to show you any in this series. So I might go and try to find one of those. But if I can't, then at the end I will go into creative and I'll show you one of those guys. I'll spawn one of them in for you, just so you can see, you know, what they look like and stuff. Because they look really cool. They do. Like Azanor's done some great work on adding all that sort of stuff in. I'm pretty sure the guy who does, I can never remember his name, but the guy who does all of his modelling is extremely talented. So yeah. Even the Crimson Cult looks pretty badass, including things like my armor. Isn't that funky? Alright, how are we doing? I think we've got a couple left. Oh no, this is the last one, I think. Yeah, the Procantio is the last one, because I had a load of terror in there, so we can only hope that this goes well. But if it does, we're going to have a truly powerful wand. Actually, no, we're going to make a staff, I think. Yeah, we'll go with a staff. Why not? Here we go. So it's pulling on all of the different types of rods. The Primal Charms, yes. We've got 2 rods left. I think we got this in the bag, guys. Oh, yeah. I just gained Wolf as well. Oh, staff core of the Primal. Like a bolt. Alright, let me show you some funky things that we can do with this. Now, firstly, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go into my secret stash of void stuff, which is under here. And I'm going to get some of these charged void metal caps to show you what the going-ons is here. I have got this stuff as well, so I got these void bits here. I'll throw these on quickly so you can see what they look like. I don't think they actually look that great, but I'll throw them on anyway. There we go. There's that, and that, and that. So yeah, it's not as good as these guys, is it? But you know, you gotta have them to be able to make these anyway. So there we go. Let's pop those guys back on, and you can all go back inside there. And the good thing with these tools is they all have warping on them, which is fairly nice. But they actually, I don't think they break. So yeah, they're not bad. But I much prefer the actual like the pickaxe, the core, and the sword of the Zephyr, and all those guys. They're pretty cool. So now that we've got all of that, I would like to actually, before we do this, because I want to show you something a little bit cool that some don't know about. Let's grab a... I don't think I have another charm. Do I have another charm? I don't think I have another charm. No. Alright. Well, I'll explain it to you guys. But basically, you can make staffs by using primal charms. So you'd think the only thing we can use the primal charms for is making the scepters, like we did with this one. So this is my void aspected silverwood scepter. If you do this with so the recipe you would use for a silverwood for a scepter would be a cap, a cap, a cap, a core, and a primal charm, and that would give you one of those. But if you actually place in a staff core instead of a wand core, it'll actually make a staff of the primal that has, you know, like this little pretty bit that goes around the top here. You can see it going around the edges, that little bit there. You'll be able to make one of those into a staff form, but the same thing applies, that you won't be able to attach any of the focuses to it. So yeah, you have to, it's kind of hit and miss, you know. It's big, it's as large as a staff with all the funky stuff going around the top, but you can't go and use any of that on it, and the capacity that it holds is mammoth, like massive amounts. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But let me show you something, guys. So if I get my charged void metal caps and I throw them on there, you'll see that the current price is 172.8. And let's put on my thaumaturge's boots. So I'm currently wearing the most amount of Viz discount I currently can have. So all of these guys, and bam, look at this. Still haven't got enough. Oh, this is expensive. Man, the Void Aspect Silverwood Scepter, check that out. Now some of you might be thinking, well, why don't you make yourself a Primal Scepter so that you can do that? You can't actually do that. So for these guys, like I said, you have to use a core. You can't actually use a staff core. And if I tried to make one of these with one of these, it would make what I was talking about a second ago. It would make one of these staffs with the little banded bit on the top, and you can't use one of those inside this bench. That's the idea behind it. You have to use the scepters. So that's what I was talking about when I was saying that currently we can't make the best that we can make because it's just not implemented yet. It's there, you can see it, but I can't have it. It can't have it. Unless we have any add-ons on. I know there's some bits in Kami that allow you to make really good wands that will allow you to make this, but currently, no, we cannot. So we're going to go with the next best thing. We're going to add some charged Fulmium caps onto this, and this gives us just enough to be able to make the Fulmium Bossed Primal Staff. Check this guy out. Isn't it pretty funky? Oh yes, there we go. Check that bad boy out. Oh, you feel oddly drained. How funky is that? Now I think if I take this off, what you'll find is all of my aspect, you see all my viz in the top left, they will actually all slowly replenish because we have all the different cores that were required to make the primal staff core that we used in the recipe a minute ago. So like with these guys, if we have a look inside here, like with these, if we make any of these, you'll see that it will slowly gain Ignis inside once it drops below 10%. It's exactly the same with this, but it will do it for all of the aspects, so that's why it's pretty powerful stuff. Oh yes. So there is that guy. Pretty funky stuff, right? Obviously we can go ahead and we can pop that on there as well, and we'll get like a mammoth amount. But you can see here that we have 114%, so it's practically the same as the Thaumian boss Silverwood, but the Primal staff is, you know, it's better because we gained the extra bits and bobs from all of the different staff cores that we used, which is kind of nice. Plus, we can go ahead and we can put all the bits on it. So check this out. This is like this is probably the best thing you can make at the minute in vanilla Thaumcraft, which is quite the monster indeed. Oh yes, cool. Alright guys, so that's pretty much going to be done for all of our making stuff, I believe. I'm going to go and throw these booties back on. There we go. And between now and any new updates, we should find new, more kind of funky ways to make these items that we currently can't make. And I'm excited to check this stuff out because it does look pretty cool, doesn't it? I've heard of dimensions being added, I've heard of portals to dark whereabouts being added. There is some good stuff coming in the future. You guys are just going to have to wait for it. Oh yeah. This just looks really cool though, doesn't it? I really like the look of it. Like the staff itself just looks really funky. And with this core on there, it looks even funkier. It can shoot laser beams. It's just it's on a whole nother level. Oh yeah. Cool. Alright, so before we finish up guys, I wanted to go and show you something. And I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. So I'm going to try and find myself something that's related to the cult. Now, the Crimson Cult is a... how to put it? It's kind of like a faction, like a group of people. And you're going to be hearing a lot more about the Crimson Cult and the Eldritch side of things in upcoming releases of Thaumcraft. But the current iteration of them does add them into the game, so they're already there. We already know of Eldritch Guardians because, you know, they'll spawn randomly sometimes if you have a load of warp and such. And you can actually spawn in Eldritch Guardians if you find the right monument. But I'm going to go and show you guys what a monument is. And hopefully, if we're lucky, we might get to meet the Crimson Cult. So I'll see you shortly. And there we have it, guys. Check these guys out. This is the Crimson Cult, the new additions to Thaumcraft, and how cool do they look around their obelisk. Now you're going to find them like this surrounding obelisks, and there's two different types currently. We have the knights and we have the clerics. The knights are obviously the ones that have the swords, the clerics are the ones that have the little scrolls on their backs and such, and you can see they're kind of draining stuff out of a node that's right there in between this obelisk, which is pretty cool. And you might remember these obelisks because these obelisks used to be around in older versions of Thaumcraft, yes. And when we get near them, you'll actually see all the kind of endery stuff going on inside them. Now, currently, these guys don't have much of a use, but they are good for a couple of things. The first thing is farming them, because they actually have some pretty good drops, these do. So if we go down and we get one of these guys, come here, and these guys are going to kind of protect it, and they're fairly strong, you know, they're not easy to kill guys. You'll find the clerics won't fight you, but the knights obviously will do, and they take a fair beating. They're not weak by any means. There we go, we finally got that guy down. And you'll see in my inventory that I managed to... oh, here we go. That cleric's having a go. Oh, come here. Oh. And you know, they're pretty strong. They're not weak by any means. Let's see if we can do them with this. Oh, and that guy turned into slime. Oh, come here. And we got a little bit of taint poison going on right now as well. Let's try and have a bite of this. Oh, have a little bit of this. There we go. Much better. Come on, go away. We got all sorts of things ganging up on us now. Unfortunately, this decided to be... the only place I could find this was inside this tainted biome, so we do have to deal with all of these annoying spores and things. But you'll see from what I've got from these is pretty cool. So I've managed to get some void seeds, which is kind of cool. I got some knowledge fragments, which is also pretty funky. And we can also get some other good bits from these as well. So let me try and get some more of these guys to die, because we can also get parts of their robes from them. Alright guys, so I have nipped into creative mode, because we are now pretty much at the end of this series. There's a couple of things I'd like to show you without getting beaten up by swarmy stuff every 10 minutes. Or every minute maybe. So first we're going to look at the drops that these guys have, and they've got certain drops that are kind of rarer than others. You saw that we got the void seeds and the knowledge fragments, which is kind of cool, but a couple of other bits that we can actually get from beating on these are these items here. How cool do these look? So we have the Crimson Cult hood, the cult robes and the leggings. We also have the helm and the chest plates and the greaves, which are pretty cool, and these kind of give us that Crimson Culty look when we throw these on as well. Check this out. It looks pretty cool, so we can see that these are the ones from the knight, and if we switch these out, we'll have the gear that the clerics have. So there we go. See, looking pretty cool, right? And they're not as good as our regular robes, our void thaumaturge robes, but they're not bad. You know, if you manage to get your hands on them, they do look pretty cool. They do have warping and a bit of vis discount, which is pretty nice, I must admit. But they can drop these things, which is kind of cool. Now, another thing they can drop, which is super rare, is you can get your hands on the Crimson Rights. Now, this is currently disabled because this is something that isn't really in the game just yet. But it is there, but it doesn't really do much. You can see we click there and we just got a bit of information. If we have a look inside here, go to here, you'll see we now have the Crimson Cult, a cautionary tale. So much of this book is written in a spidery and unintelligible script, but what you do understand offers some strange insights into the goals of the Crimson Cult. Their origins are shrouded in mystery, but it seems their goal is the perfection of a ritual they refer to as Apparit's Oculus. Opening the eye, what it does is unclear, but you doubt it is anything good. And interestingly enough, you think thaumaturgy might offer the missing places they have so long sought. Obviously, only a madman would pursue this line of study. And once you've got to this kind of point, you know, you've gone pretty much insane by now. There isn't really much kind of keeping you going. And these are pretty nasty biomes as well. What you will find is while you're around one of these, the biome itself will actually change, which is kind of cool because you can see that we've got all of this stuff here and it's melting away. And the reason for that is that this biome will change to an eerie biome. I don't know if it's already changed. Let's have a look. Yeah, we can see it's already changed to an eerie biome. If we go over here, we'll see tainted biome. So this will slowly change to an eerie biome. And when it's dark, you'll also find that monsters and mobs and things can spawn around here as well, which is pretty scary. And while we've got the clerics, you'll find that the swordsmen, the knights, will also spawn, which is pretty cool. Now, you don't want to go trying to break any of this, because if you try and break any of it, the whole thing's going to blow up, which is definitely not very fun. So you want to try and not do that. But that is pretty much this area for you guys, and the Crimson Cult. So I think we're almost there, guys. That is pretty much most of the stuff I wanted to show you. There's a couple of last bits that I would like to show off before we go, but this is kind of stuff that's going to be implemented later, but it's already there for you to see. You just can't do much with it. It's more to do with the mystery side of it. The first is the Eldritch Revelation. So once you have gained a humongous amount of warp, you will get the Eldritch Revelation. It really doesn't make any sense. People have been talking about this. Apparently this font is to do with Cthulhu, if anyone knows anything about that. But yes, so a veil has been lifted, a door opened in my mind. When I look through, I see wonders. No, not wonders. Why see? Who wrote this? So you've pretty much completely lost the plot. 100% down the drain. Your marbles have been washed away. And that is pretty much it. Once you get to the Eldritch Revelation, that's pretty much as far as you're going to get. There are a couple of other things that you can see, though. If we have a look inside here, you'll find an item called the Eldritch Eye. It seems to be watching you. And this item here, from what I've read, I haven't tried this yet, but I believe we can place these along here like this. There we go. There we are, just like that. See? And what it does, I have no idea. I think it's something to do with spawning. I believe you can spawn the Eldritch. Yes, there we go. Check that out. One Eldritch Guardian. Seems we're pulling them from their dimension. Yes, because if none of you have actually looked, there is actually an Eldritch biome. There is mentions of an Eldritch biome if you go in the configs. There's nothing like that just yet, but it looks like it's coming, and this has to have something to do with it. But this is an Eldritch Guardian, guys. I don't think I've shown one of these off. They have a pretty decent amount of shielding, and they're pretty strong. And when you beat on one of these guys, he'll die, he'll drop some crystallized Essentia, or just some ethereal essence. And, yeah, that's pretty cool, right? You can beat these guys up as much as you like. And these are the ones that will spawn when you have a high amount of the warps. Yeah, so you got to be a little bit careful of these. But there we go, so there's that. Now, the last, but not least, actually no, this probably is the last thing that I would like to show you is this. So if we ever go inside here, you'll see we have the Eldritch portal. Yes, it's not actually it doesn't do anything, it's not in the game, can't get your hands on it, but I thought I'd show you this because it's pretty cool. Let's do this. Check that out. How funky is that? The Eldritch portal. And you guys might actually remember some of this from the old Thaumcraft, because this has actually been around before, this portal stuff. But it hasn't been really implemented in any of this yet. Now this portal currently doesn't do anything. You can walk around it and whatnot. But my guess is this is going to be what takes you to the Eldritch dimension. And it's going to have something to do with this, I guess. Seems like we're summoning them from their dimension by placing down these eyes around this Eldritch obelisk. Actually, one thing I didn't do is I didn't scan this. Look at that. Good stuff. I was wondering if it opened up something I wasn't aware of. No. But yeah, there we go, guys. So that's that for this Thaumcraft look. We've gone through pretty much most of the items. There's a few little bits and bobs I left out that I didn't think I really needed to show off that much. We looked at some of the stuff that could hopefully be coming soon. You know, these all these little gadgets and gizmos look quite exciting, especially with the talk of an Eldritch dimension and bosses. It's going to be pretty fun, I think. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. If you have, make sure to drop a like. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more awesome content. I'll see you soon, guys, starting up another single mod series where we'll go through and we'll experience it all one piece at a time like we did with this. Oh yeah, before we go, I'd like to show you what happens when you break one of these. It goes just a little bit boom. Just a tad. Good stuff. Alright guys, have yourself a great day. Have a good one as always. My name's been Lewis, and goodbye.